What's going on, everyone? Talen here, and welcome to another uniform review video. Alright, so we're going to be moving on to Giant Man's new uniform, so let's go ahead and hop over here. So here we have Pymtron for Giant Man, so Ultron Pym they call it here, so Pymtron I'm just going to say for short. So here we have his uniform. The uniform effects are going to be when using an enlarge buff. He gets a 10% all defense and 10% all attack increase for 20 seconds, and it's on a 30-second cooldown, so that's pretty nice. That's going to be active for most of the fight there. You have a 10-second downtime, but being up for 20 seconds at a time is pretty nice. So let's go ahead and see if there's any big changes to the skills here. Don't have anything there, don't have anything there, nope. Alright, so here we have a summon, so now he has a summon, so very similar to the original Ultron. It looks like he's going to summon in some clones. He does get super armor and all defense. It lasts for 7 seconds, so that's pretty nice, and this skill is only on a 6.5-second cooldown, so you can pretty much have your super armor up the entire time. And then the 5th skill here, we have some damage immunity, so immune to all damage for 4 seconds, so these are pretty much going to be his only well, this is going to be his only source of protection, but this will get the guard break or the super armor up, so you don't get guard broken while casting your Pym or Roaring Pym skill here. So let's go ahead and hop into the skill preview here and see how the skills actually look. Alright, so let's go ahead and start with the first skill. Alright, nice. So we do have an iframe on that skill, and he does get the bonus from the uniform there because he did get an enlarge buff. So as you can see, he's a lot bigger than he was before the skill. So very nice, and so yeah, that's an iframe. I do like that skill. Second skill here. Okay, just kind of does a shoulder charge and then does a blast. It's kind of similar to Nova's second skill as well, I think it is. Where he's kind of got that lingering kind of ball that just damages the enemy as it goes across the screen, so not too bad. But no protection during this skill, so... Oh, it also has enlarge on it. I wonder if all of his skills have enlarge. And now the third skill. That one definitely has enlarge. That's pretty much the same third skill, isn't it? Isn't that what he did with his third skill before? With Giant Man? I can't remember because I haven't played Giant Man in such a long time, but that looks like it's pretty much the same skill. But no iframe or anything on that one as well, so yeah, it's not going to be a super safe skill, but it is a lot of hits, so it will probably protect or be okay to use in Shadowland because you'll be able to guard break the enemy with it. So now let's go ahead and look at the fourth skill here. So this one has the summons. Alright, nice. So he does kind of like a Black Bolt type roar there. Looks like we're going to get a lot of damage off of that, and we have a lot of AoE, so that is very nice. I do like this skill, but it's not an iframe, and he doesn't have the actual invincibility from this skill here, or the immune to damage, so you can get hit while using it, but you do have super armor, so luckily you won't get guard broken out of the skill, but keep in mind you can be taking damage while using that skill. What do we got here? Thanks for the dimension chest. And now time for the 5th skill. Oh, nice. Giant Pymtron. I like that one. That's pretty cool looking skill. He does have the all damage immune while using this skill, so at least he's protected that way, but you want to make sure you have your super armor up when using that skill because no iframe there, so you could definitely get guard broken out of that skill. So you're going to want to use the 4th skill for the super armor, let that go through, then jump into the 5th skill, and it looks like... yeah, it lasts for pretty much exactly the amount of time that you need it to last, so as soon as the 5th skill is done animating, it looks like your super armor and your all damage immune will be gone, so I think you can just do... hold on, no, want the 4th skill here, do the 4th skill. Pop that up, then we do this one, and then we can go back into the 4th skill. Yeah, you could probably go right back into the 4th skill after the 5th skill is done animating because it is on a 6.5-second cooldown, and I know the skill cooldown is a lot shorter in the skill preview here, but if you go off the timer there at the top for the 7 seconds, you should be pretty close to having the skill off of cooldown when this is done. So you could probably throw in maybe the first skill to stall a little bit. So you're probably going to be using like 4-5-1 with Pymtron here if you're trying to do a more safe rotation to keep him out of harm's way as much as possible. He still will be getting hit though during probably the 4th skill and taking damage that way, but it seems like it might be the best kind of way to keep him alive during like a world boss fight or something like that. But during Shadowland, I don't think you'll have much problem because all of his skills look like they will be good at kind of controlling the enemy based on the number of hits that they're giving. So overall, the Pymtron uniform looks pretty nice. It's definitely a big upgrade for Giant Man because Giant Man isn't really very useful at all right now in the current state. So he's not too powerful. So this uniform is definitely going to make him useful. So I can see this mainly being kind of like a Shadowland type uniform. So it'll make Giant Man a good option for Shadowland, and also it will change him to a universal villain, which is also a big deal for Shadowland as well. So keep that in mind. If you need a universal villain, then this uniform here might be able to help you fill that slot as well. So overall, I don't think the uniform is too crazy powerful. It doesn't look like he's going to have a lot of survivability because you're going to be relying mainly on that 5th skill and the iframe on the 1st skill if you really want to stay out of harm's way, because you're definitely going to get hit while using the other skills if you don't have the enemy crowd controlled in some way. And it looks like the damage though is going to be a lot better than his other uniform and his base form, even though he is going to be losing a little bit of his stats because he is changing from combat to universal, and combat class definitely has the highest native attack stat, so it's going to be losing a little bit there, but the uniform makes up for it in terms of the uniform bonus and the skill changes, having a lot more hits and a lot more AoE. So overall, I do like this uniform for Giant Man, and since it's only 750 crystals, I am going to go ahead and pick it up, and also it'll give me an excuse to tier 2 Giant Man, because then I'll have another universal at tier 2, which will help me in World Boss Ultimate. So yeah, go ahead and buy this Pymtron uniform here. Boom. Alright, there we go. So Pymtron has been purchased. So yeah, that's just kind of my initial thoughts and impressions on the uniform here. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and of course I will catch you in the next one.